on United States of Secrets.
We are under emergency conditions. Extraordinary means are required to deal with a threat.
They called it the program.
You're looking for unknown conspirators, and the way they devised to do that was to look at everybody.
Authorized at the highest levels of government.
This is a highly classified program that is crucial to our national security.
Over 2 presidencies.
I'm not aware of any case in which Obama said, you can't do that.
I argued it was illegal and unconstitutional. And when this comes out, all hell is going to break loose.
Wildfires, drought, and storms affected the lives of millions of people globally. These and many other human rights crises and their consequences are not solvable by governments acting alone. But the international human rights framework, the collection of rules states have agreed upon, provides the roadmap to protect everyone's dignity. We have seen what's possible when people's human rights are respected and protected.
Ever wonder what government officials are really up to? Well, sometimes they hide stuff. They do things behind closed doors to benefit themselves. Let's dive in and uncover these secret moves. 15 government departments are monitoring social media of potential critics, compiling secret files to bar them from public events. In September, The Observer revealed the Department for Education's attempt to cancel invitations for 3 early childhood education experts due to their criticism of government policies. Many more education experts and school staff have since discovered similar files held by the department.
Early childhood education is a major that deals with children from the ages of birth to around 7 years old.
Our early childhood program here is a blended program. That means that if you come to our program, you're prepared to teach all children, typically developing children, children with special needs, and their family.
Human rights experts at Lee Day revealed the widespread nature of this practice across government, indicating it likely targets numerous individuals, underscoring the scale of government monitoring of critics.
This was a stupendous intelligence breach.
And the convergence of government surveillance and an information revolution.
The Googles, the Facebooks collect as much of our sensitive data as possible.
But anything you hand to a private company is potentially government.
On October 1st, 2023, The Observer headline exposes the Education Ministry's maintenance of secret files on critics of school policies. This revelation is highly embarrassing for the Conservative Party, which claims to champion free speech, but criticizes universities for no-platforming dissenting voices. Tessa Gregory from Lee Day, representing affected experts, warns of the danger of such practices, likely impacting numerous individuals unaware of civil servants holding secret files on them. Tessa Gregory argues that these covert checks are illegal, violating data protection laws and potentially breaching equality and human rights legislation.
Judges from the Court of Appeal have today ruled that the regulations under which most of the government's back-to-work schemes have been created are unlawful and must be quashed.
Dan Cazzetta, a chemical weapons expert, was excluded from a defense conference due to his social media criticism of Tory ministers and immigration policies. He knows of 12 others similarly affected, with many more likely unaware of being blacklisted. Cazzetta finds the extent of this practice shocking and alarming. Cazzetta's hiring of Lee Day led to a judicial review, prompting disclosure of government surveillance policies. This resulted in confirmation that 15 departments withdrew guidelines, pending review. Cazzetta emphasized he doesn't owe impartiality, rejecting comparison to civil service codes. The Observer obtained details of monitoring guidelines in various government departments, indicating the significance of the revelations and ensuing actions.
Nothing happens, nothing happens, nothing happens. Almost 3 months later, I get a quite stonking email, which I'm happy to show you, by the way. I brought it with me, uninviting me from speaking because of a cabinet office policy allegedly in place since 2022, saying that I've been critical of government officials and or government policy on social media. And so if that's not the definition of blacklisting, I don't know what is.
Departments like DEFRA, DCMS, and the Department for Business and Trade instructed officials to conduct social media and Google background checks. They advised searching for terms like criticism of government or prime minister, and recommended reviewing multiple pages of search results spanning several years. Officials were explicitly instructed to keep records on individuals for future reference, highlighting a systematic approach to monitoring online activity. The Department for Education, DFE, provided specific guidelines for vetting speakers at its stronger practice hubs, stating that individuals who have criticized the DFE or its early years policies are unlikely to be suitable speakers. Additionally, those who have commented positively on negative posts about the DFE are also deemed inappropriate. While the DFE's internal guidance recommended thorough Google and social media checks on potential speakers, it denied conducting monitoring or investigations on the public, as stated in response to a Freedom of Information request from Privacy International. Privacy International's legal director, Caroline Wilson-Palau,
the British ambassador to China. I'm really delighted to have had this opportunity on a visit back to London to talk to the American European Business Association Women's Executive Forum. And what an incredibly stimulating and impressive group of people they are. We've had a great discussion. We've talked about tech, we've talked about climate, we've talked about geopolitics, we've talked about Taiwan, we've talked about Ukraine, we talked about business and government, on a whole host of issues related to trade, investment, global public goods, including environment and technology, and a whole nexus of really, really interesting issues.
Expressed concern over the government potentially blacklisting individuals for exercising their right to free expression, calling it dangerous. She argued that actively searching for negative information constitutes directed surveillance. Lib Dem peer, Lord Wallace of Saltaire.
Britain is likely to face over the next 5 to 15 years are not primarily susceptible to a military response, which raises some difficult questions about the most appropriate mix of military and non-military instruments in the provisions we make for national security.
Condemned the notion that only like-minded individuals should participate in policy discussions, highlighting the importance of diverse perspectives and open dialogue. Lord Wallace criticized the vetting of experts as contradictory to principles of diversity and inclusion, labeling it a significant drain on civil servants' resources. Jonathan Wolfe from the University of Oxford.
And so I'm talking, as you know, about structural injustice. And I have a habit, really, of not reading emails through to the end and agreeing to things without always knowing exactly what I've agreed to. And I'm not sure when it was I picked up that the conference was dedicated to the idea of a post-liberal world.
Stated that avoiding engagement with challenging viewpoints demonstrates weakness. He highlighted the fragility and petulance exhibited by refusing to listen to individuals simply because they've criticized the government on another issue, emphasizing the importance of open dialogue and receptiveness to diverse perspectives. Smita Jamdar, a partner at Shakespeare Martineau.
Okay, so when we think about the Brexit vote, I think what it did was reveal some very, very long-standing and deep divisions in our society. And a number of those divisions were very, very pertinent to higher education.
Highlighted the perceived double standards in the government's approach to free speech. The Cabinet Office spokesperson defended the necessity for civil service events to uphold impartiality. They affirmed the government's commitment to safeguarding free speech, acknowledging the temporary withdrawal of guidance to prevent misinterpretation. This suggests ongoing review and adjustment of policies to ensure alignment with principles of free expression and impartiality. The Guardian emphasizes its 13-year investigation into the failings of the Tory government, from austerity to cronyism, aiming to inform voters ahead of the upcoming election. They highlight their role in holding power to account. As a reader-funded publication without shareholders or billionaire owners, they stress their commitment to unbiased reporting essential for democracy. By providing free access to quality journalism, they aim to empower readers to stay informed and engaged in shaping their communities. They urge support to sustain their independent reporting for years to come. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you all liked it. Feel free to share your thoughts in comment section. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you will never miss any episode of our enthralling series.